I
Where are we going today?
competition. So every year I have a set of books I reread. So 12 books for the 12 months of the year. And my book for June is this book, Zero to One by Peter Thiel. Notes on startups or how to build the future. Um, Everyone that knows me to a certain extent knows that in one way or the other, I'm actually trying to build, I'll say, the future. Through this idea of Yote, Years of the African Youth. So a time where young people or people in Africa in general would be able to do great things and just rise above the limitations of like their country or their continent. And one idea that I've always had is this whole idea of competition. And there's a specific chapter, I think chapter 4 in this book, where they spoke about the ideology of competition. Um, I think that from my study of great companies and successful people, because I've spent a lot of time studying what makes a company great, what makes, an idea that someone has like turned into something that has impact for generations. And across board, most times they're monopolies. So when we look at companies like Coca-Cola, like Apple, like Pepsi, like Microsoft, they were not on the level of most companies where they were fighting for like markets and competition. They were dominating it. And there's a quote from this book. Well, I won't say a quote, but an excerpt from the book where the author he said something amazing. He said, all successful companies are different. They are able to solve a unique problem and create a monopoly through that. And all failed companies, so all unsuccessful companies are the same in the idea that they all fail to escape competition. And the way I see Yote World, which is the company I'm building, I see it as a monopoly, if I'm being honest, because I think that there's going to be two times, which is the time before Yote World existed, where it's like people didn't really have access to like African content or their history, and then a time after that, where if you think of African content, you're literally going to Yote World to find that out. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And I always thought that yeah, I'm going to have a monopoly, and I don't think it's a problem. And just reading this book really like gave me insight into that, and I think that it's amazing because if you are really creating value that no one can top, then at the end of the day, you're going to dominate that market. And that's kind of how we need to think about things while we're building. Like we should not be on the level of, oh, I'm trying to compete in this market. We should be thinking of how do we dominate the market to create the most value for the consumers or customers of that market. I think you should genuinely check out this book, man. It's amazing. My name is Day Donald Apade Yote, and I bring light.